Thank you very much, Al. Wonderful drama. Super Bowl comes down to the final game. We'll have the awarding of the Vince Lombardi Trophy. We'll also present the Pete Rozelle MVP Award. But right now, there's a very happy wife. And let's go to our Beth Ruyak. Beth?
Brent, Vicki, you said you don't have the boys with you right now. Why not?
They're down on the field with their father. He wanted them down on the field if they won, so that's where he's at.
Did you or Jeff ever expect that it would be a game that would be like this down to the very last kick?
No. This is totally amazing, Dust. We're so excited. We're so excited.
It's the beginning of a big year. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Some happy fans, Brent. Back to you.
All right, Beth. Thank you very much. And we're going to come back with the presentation of the Vince Lombardi Trophy to the New York Giants for the second time in 5 years.
It seems that every time you turn around these days, another pain reliever with ibuprofen in it is comparing itself to Tylenol. But you know what they can't say? They can't say they're gentler than Tylenol, because they're not. Tylenol won't irritate your stomach the way ibuprofen sometimes can. That's a medical fact. And is it any wonder that today hospitals use Tylenol 14 times more than ibuprofen? Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
George Armstrong Custer. His life was full of spectacle and controversy. His death haunts us still. Rosanna Arquette. Gary Cole, son of the Morning Star, 1 week from tonight.
ABC News monitoring the war and the world 24 hours a day. Updates, special reports, and special editions of ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Hollywood Pictures. He's been framed. He's being hunted. He's got nowhere to turn.
That's him. They didn't see me.
It's the guy in the news.
They didn't see me. The kid? Yeah, they saw me.
There's only one thing
Everyone has done this.
Charlie Farrell can do. To stay alive, he has to run. Rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Imagine a business lender with the speed and service of a local bank. Imagine the strength of 500 bank offices across the Northeast working as one for your business. Add the resources of a $30 billion financial group. The ability to take your business anywhere it wants to go. That's what's behind your local North Star Bank.
Of all the trust that is in your life, there's one kind of trust that makes you feel just right. Of all the people you trust every day, who right by your side every step of the way. No matter where you live, work or play, you can trust Blue Cross to be there each day. Trust Blue Cross. The most important blue in your life. Blue Cross. Blue Cross.
News Channel 7, Buffalo.
The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports. ABC Sports coverage of Super Bowl 25. Brought to you by Hertz. Whether you rent a car for business or pleasure, Hertz is America's wheels. And by the great taste of Diet Pepsi. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh.
We are back inside the Jubilant Giants locker room. Commissioner Paul Tagliabue will present the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Joining us now, Wellington and Tim Mara, co-owners of the New York Giants, George Young, who's done such a fine job as a general manager, and of course the head coach, Bill Parcells. Commissioner, you take over.
Well, this week we've been saying all week that the 25th Silver Anniversary Super Bowl is very, very, very special for many reasons, which we've all discussed, and I can't add anything to that. The Giants set it all out there with their performance today. I want to congratulate Wellington Mara, Tim Mara, George Young, and Bill Parcells for an extraordinary performance this season and today. Congratulations, and can't do it better than this in the future. I'm sure of that. Congratulations, Bill.
Oh, thanks. I'm just so proud of what these guys have accomplished. I think I could cry very easily. But I'll just say I'm very happy. I'm going to put it where...
Coach, there it is.
Bill, come on. Tighten up here just a second, Bill, because I'm sure. Commissioner Wellington, thank you very much. Bill, I know that you had to have some thoughts after the timeout. Scott Norwood is out there perched to beat you with a last-second field goal. You beat the 49ers that way. Tell us your emotions out there in the field.
Well, you know, I realized a long time ago, Brent, that God's playing in some of these games, and he was on our side today. I think both teams were valiant. I thought we played as well as we could. I don't think there's too much to choose between the two teams. If we played tomorrow, they'd probably win 20-19. But I'm very proud of my guys. This, without question, is one of the greatest victories I've ever had as a coach. And I'm just proud for the organization and the support they've given me, because without that, you know, a coach has no chance. But since I've been there, they've been 100% behind me, and I'm just grateful to all these people that you see up here, because it's all of them, and they get the players for me, and then we just try and coach.
All right. Coach, third down. You were especially lethal against them today. Offensive line did a terrific job for you. Talk to us about the success on third down.
Well, I don't know so much about the third down success, Brent, because I don't know the statistics of what the ratio was. I do know that our whole plan was to try to shorten the game for Buffalo. We wanted the ball. We didn't want them to have it. And I think we accomplished that. I'm not positive, but I think we did. I don't know what the time of possession was, but I think, you know, we had it quite a bit. And that was our whole plan. I thought if we could do it, we could get a shot to win, and we did.
It was over 40 minutes, a Super Bowl record. George Young, you helped bring in some of the offensive linemen, but I want to talk about the quarterback, Jeff Hostetler. What did you see in him that you had such great belief in him that he could do the job at a Super Bowl?
Well, a lot of us saw that, but in 1984, we drafted him, and we thought he was a top choice. We had a great grade on him. The problem was, see, in 84, it was indecisive about Sims. See, Sims was coming off 83 where he was hurt, and it really was an established quarterback. Sims got in, made him his run, and Jeff never got his chance. The greatest thing about Jeff is that however frustrated was, he hung in there. He waited 7 years for this great opportunity, and I know he realizes it was worth it now.
All right. Tim, I know you're close to many of the players. Your thoughts here today?
My thoughts are first with our troops tonight. Even though we won, we're very happy. Our thoughts are with our thoughts and our hearts are with our troops. Secondly, I'm very happy for our fans. I want to thank the players, congratulate them. I want to thank our assistant coaches. A lot of them have been with us a long time. They've done a hell of a job. Bill Parcells is the best coach the Giants ever had. And this man right here, George Young, all the credit goes to him. What we've accomplished here in 12 years, and to come from where we were to what we've done in 12 years, this man gets all the credit. There's no one else right here.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. And congratulations. We're going to be coming back. We'll be hearing from the MVP, and we're going to talk to other members of the winning New York Giants when we continue with our coverage of Super Bowl 25 in just a moment.
You know, Lucy, we own the farm.
Uh-huh.
All the crops are in.
Uh-huh.
Got each other.
Uh-huh.
Still, there's something missing.
A Lamborghini Diablo.
My thoughts exactly.
Pick up a specially marked package of Diet Pepsi and you could win a Lamborghini Diablo worth over $200,000 or millions of other great prizes.
Hold on, Lucy.
Come on, Dwayne. Kick her in the tail.
With 100% NutraSweet.
They let you out of your cage for 3 whole days, and you're going to get as far away as you can. So you call a rent-a-car company that gives you a great weekend rate and free unlimited mileage.
Hertz, we're America's wheel.
We give you a lot of weekend for your money. That's why America made us #1.
Hertz, we're America's wheel. Right.
It's called Drixoral. A powerful 12-hour cold medicine that at one time you couldn't buy without a prescription. Today, you can. 12-hour prescription-strength Drixoral
It works just as hard against colds as it always did to relieve the misery of congestion, sneezing, and runny nose. For 12 full hours of prescription strength relief, Drix Oral is all you need to know.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head & Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denerex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
If you sometimes feel like an underdog in business, here's a whole new way to compete. Make one phone call to Sprint and a telecommunications specialist will custom design a small business package just for you. It'll have all the cutting-edge technology that only big business used to be able to afford.
10,000 by the 30th. We're in business.
So you can get to be one of those big, rich companies that everybody resents.
The conflict in the Middle East, a volatile situation with constantly changing developments.
A situation that affects us all. Eyewitness News and ABC News will be working to keep you informed.
Not just on the hour, not just during the newscast, but throughout your day.
No matter what day of the week, we'll bring you the latest as soon as it happens.
With special emphasis on news important to Western New York.
Eyewitness News. No matter when, we know Buffalo's watching.
2019, the New York Giants with a win, and this year for the first time, they are going to award the Pete Rozelle Trophy to the MVP, and here he is, O.J. Anderson. Some folks said you were over the hill. You have proved them wrong for several years.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God up above for giving me the strength. I tell you what, my offensive line did a super job for me, and it's easy to run behind those guys when they block the way they do. It's automatic.
Now, the Giants had to come from behind, struggled a bit in the first half. What pulled it together for the offense, O.J.?
I think collectively we know we can put points on the board. We know that we can control the clock. They did a lot of things to hurt us at first, but we knew if we just keep running the football and keep, pounding here and there, that something is going to give.
All right, we're going to show a highlight from one of those drives involving one of your finest runs of the game. So you take over.
Well, it was an inside play, and I saw the linebackers go down inside, and I just broke outside, and I got a key block from outside receiver. Might have been Ingram, someone, and
but the key was the blow you delivered at the end. And Dan Deerdorf said, offensive guys, they can deliver a blow too.
Well, all my life I've been the kind of guy that when you get close to the sideline, try to get a blow because I know that the defensive back should have the advantage because he got the sideline to knock me out of bounds. So I just tried to really blow back to him.
And you're not retired on this Super Bowl triumph.
No way.
Come back.
No way. I'm coming back again. I got still work to do. The running backs, Meggett and Lewis and Hampton, I think still a lot to be learned from me, and I just want to get one more try, and I just thank God to give me an opportunity.
Jay, congratulations, and thank you very much. We now turn to the quarterback who has to be overjoyed. Jeff, first of all, why don't you introduce members of your family to the audience?
This is Jason, and this is Justin.
Oh, and I'll bet they're so happy what happened with Pop out there.
Well, I'm sure they are, but Papa's pretty happy.
Tell us about the game, because for you personally, first of all, a couple things. You weren't throwing the ball real well at the first of the game, but then you were getting pounded a bit and beat up, and the wrist, we can take a look at you getting hit on this play. Talk to us about this, Jeff.
Well, I guess this was early in the first quarter or first half, and a guy comes open here, and he put a good hit on me, and I was dazed for quite a while. But we were able to come back and go with it.
Was there a time when they were going to have to turn the reins over to Kavanaugh on the sideline? Was that a thought? I know he was on the telephone over there.
I don't think so. I think it had taken a little more to get me out, and luckily I just was able to stay in and keep going. This is my wife, Vicki.
Vicki, I know you were outside with Beth Ruyak. It's probably tougher for a wife watching a husband compete on the field than it is for the player himself who's involved. Jeff, talk to me about third down in this particular game, especially the rollout action. You were able to spring wide receivers open when you would come out, especially to the left. It looked as though Bruce Smith was charging to the inside and taking himself out a couple of times.
Well, I think we had a good mixture of the run and pass, and we were setting things up, and they were crashing down inside to try to stop the run, and when you do that, we were taking advantage of just trying to get outside of them. And luckily, we had the ball for quite a while, and You know, I think offensively, you know, we did a good job just pounding and pounding and pounding. I think we just kind of warmed down.
Jeff, congratulations. You too, Becky.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff Hostetler leads the New York Giants to a Super Bowl triumph, and we're going to continue after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Hey, where did we go? Days when the rain came.
She's trying to escape from the most dangerous man
She's looking for you.
she ever met. Where is she? Her husband. I won't let you live without me. Julia Roberts, Sleeping with the Enemy. Rated R. Starts Friday, February 8th at theaters everywhere.
Pool is like life.
How so?
I don't know. I just remember a guy said that to me once, and I never asked him what he meant.
Why not?
Well, you know, I didn't want to sound stupid.
Saving it up, huh?
Relax. You're among friends. Levi's 100% cotton Dockers.
It says here there's a new diet Dr. Pepper that tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper.
No kidding.
I wonder when we'll get it here.
New Diet Dr. Pepper. There's no stopping the taste.
Saturday, ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour rolls into Texas for the Quaker State Open. Then on ABC's Wide World of Sports. They're cute. They're funny. They've entertained the young and the young at heart for more than a half-century. They're the Harlem Globetrotters, and they're bringing their special brand of basketball magic to Walt Disney World in Florida. Plus, skating's top pairs light up the ice as coverage of the NutraSweet World Challenge of Champions continues from Barcelona. It's all Saturday on ABC Sports.
Now, an American classic is even better. Announcing a new 91 Dodge Caravan for only $13,851. And here's how. Air conditioning at no extra charge. A savings of $857. Add a $500 rebate. That's a total savings of $1,357. Get new safety features, too. Welcome home to the family value Dodge Caravan. Only at your Dodge dealer.
See your Team Dodge dealer and get the advantage. Advantage Dodge. Kex is better than the best. Why? Kex has the people for sales, service, and support. Your organization will run smoother with Canon NP and CLC copiers. From reliable desktop models to the latest in color copying technology, Canon NP and CLC are unsurpassed. See what Canon and Kex can do for you today with great performance, price, and superior quality. Better than the best.
Teens and Tough Decisions, coming February 18th to Eyewitness News.
The Giants beat the Bills by a point, and there's always a story in the other locker room. And let's go to Lynn Swan with Marv Levy. Lynn?
Thank you, Brent. Coach, I think this game is destined to go down as one of the great competitive ball games in Super Bowl history. That small reward when you're looking for a championship. Take us through that first half, what you're thinking. You came out of that with the lead.
Well, we knew we weren't playing real sharply, however, Lynn, with the lead, and we knew the second half was going to be the determiner. It was. Of course, unfortunately, it was determined in their direction. The second half was as closely fought as the first. The touchdown they scored just before we went in for halftime certainly had to give them a big lift, but it certainly does. There were still 30 minutes to play, and we had our chances.
When you came in at halftime, you're thinking, what do I need to do differently? What did you come out with?
There were some defensive adjustments we felt we needed to do in order to play some of our calls and some of our coverages better. And although we did do that better in the second half, the Giants, with a very strong running game, I thought they showed a very good mix of the run and pass, which has been burgeoning for them in the latter part of this season, and they used it to good effect today, enough to keep coming back when we took narrow leads.
When people start to analyze this game, they're always going to point to probably two factors right on top. First, they'll look at third down conversion. 44% conversion rate during the regular season. The only third down you converted was in the last drive of the game.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, but I knew we weren't doing well on it. When we were getting first downs, we were getting them on first and second. And that certainly would have to be a factor. We didn't click on them, and that certainly can be a factor in the game. Possession time, pretty tough to beat a team that has a very good running game and a very good defense. We came close, not close enough.
When they took the ball in the second half, in that first drive, they held the ball for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. What was going through your mind?
Well, it was very disheartening, but still the game wasn't over when we got it back. There were 20 minutes left to play in the game, and we did forge ahead again. We had our chances, and I just talked to our players on the sideline and said, we still got to pull it up. There's 20 minutes to go, and let's not fall by the wayside because they sustained a good drive. They did come back some.
People always want to get as close to the action as possible. The last drive of the ball game, Kelly's trying to take the team down to get points on the board, to get them within field goal range. What was happening?
Well, Jim, he had only one timeout, and he got shaken up on one of those plays and had to spend it. But he did a great job. He made some gutty calls to Thurman. He scrambled himself once or twice. But he was on his own out there just with the 2-minute package we had, and I thought he did a good job of at least getting us in position to try the long field goal.
And when Norwood stepped onto the field?
Well, you know, you keep saying, I hope it didn't have to come down to that. I understand that he missed it by maybe a foot or two off to the right. Maybe it was more than that, but that's what the players that came out said. And Scott's been a great kicker for us over the years, and that one missed by a whisker, and we don't fault him.
Yeah. But overall, I think, you know, even in a losing effort, I think you're probably very comfortable with the way your team played. You wish they just played a little higher.
No, you know, in terms of comfortable, I haven't been comfortable from the opening kickoff to the final gun. We would like to have won, Lynn. I'm proud of what our players have accomplished this season. We'd like to say we won this one. We didn't. I don't think any less of them.
Okay. Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now with us also the quarterback, Jim Kelly. I know when you're a young child and you're growing up in Pennsylvania, you saw a lot of Super Bowls and you dreamed about it. You're obviously disappointed. When you look back at this ball game, what do you think were the most critical factors in it?
Well, the first half, we had so many opportunities. The defense came through, and the offense, you got to give the Giants credit. They stopped us when they had to, but we had a lot of mistakes. Some bad reads on my part as far as throwing, some drop passes. Like I said, you know, before the game, we can only stop ourselves. In the first half, we had enough chances. We just didn't put the ball in the end zone.
The first two playoff games, you never really reached out. You had all the weapons there. Everything seemed to click. Was there any point in this game you felt like you were pushing a little bit, maybe trying to put a little bit more on the ball?
No, I thought most of the game, I think the offense line did what they were supposed to do. They gave me the time to throw. Like I said, we stopped ourselves a lot of times, and those things are going to happen. Like I said, a couple misreads on my part, a few errors, you know, some drop passes. We just didn't have them in the past. But again, you know, this is an experience that we definitely deserve for how hard we worked this year. And believe me, we're going to get the taste again.
When the Giants were controlling the football, you know, our announcers noted that it was almost an hour since you had possession of the football. Do you think standing on the sideline that long affected you? You got a little bit too cold?
Well, I don't know about cold, but it definitely affected us to a certain point because our offense is used to getting in there and getting going, and they controlled the ball. I don't know what time of possession was as far as you know, minutes, but there's no doubt they had. I think in opening drive they had for the first 10 minutes of the ball game in the third quarter, and when that happens, you can't get your offense out there clicking. You can't get the ball in the end zone. But you know, that's what we knew they were going to do. It was just a matter of us stopping and getting us the ball back.
Okay. Well, everyone knows that this is a very talented football team, and next year we'll come back, and Jim Kelly and the Bills will be out there once again trying to get back here to win the Super Bowl.
We have a lot to be proud of. Let's just go back, regroup, and as every team says, they're standing on this side of the locker room. There's always next year, and we got the talent on our club, and we have a lot of poise and a lot of great players, so it's just a matter of sticking together.
Okay, thank you very much, Jimmy. A class act on this side. Brent?
Indeed, thanks, Lynn. This man right here, as his coach says, will roller skate into the Hall of Fame. We're going to come back and hear from Lawrence Taylor, who's won another Super Bowl, in a moment.
There is an easier way to fix your car. Get a Civic 4-door from Honda.
Question. How can you help stop America's growing dependence on foreign oil? Proper tire inflation. It can save over 4 million gallons of gasoline a day. Let's put our energy into saving it.
It seems that every time you turn around these days, another pain reliever with ibuprofen in it is comparing itself to Tylenol. But you know what they can't say? They can't say they're gentler than Tylenol, because they're not. Tylenol won't irritate your stomach the way ibuprofen sometimes can. That's a medical fact. And is it any wonder that today hospitals use Tylenol 14 times more than ibuprofen? Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
Hold it. Ho, ho, ho. So you're going to finally meet Cindy, huh? Tonight. Good. So first impressions are very important. I think. Okay. Now, imagine. Lights are low, the music's soft. Knock the door opens up. Somebody's out there doing this. What is this? She's got dandruff? No, you have dandruff. No. Yes, you do. I shampoo every day. You can shampoo your brains out with regular shampoo. It wouldn't matter. Brains out? Yeah, well, so use that. Head and Shoulders? Works for me, my friend. But you don't have dandruff. Exactamundo!
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
The stories that touch your life. From the people who care. When news really matters. Hugh Downs, Barbara Walters, 2020, Friday.
The Giants win it, and their longtime chairman of the defense, Lawrence Taylor, better known as LT, is with us now. LT, what do you think was the difference in the ball game?
Well, I think that the big difference was we was able to take Thurman Thomas out of the passing game. Of course, you know, anytime we run a 5DB defense, we're going to suffer a little bit for the run goes and on the pass rush. But we was able to take him out of the passing game and hurt Kelly pretty much.
LT, did the hurry up affect the defense at any time during the game with Kelly not using the huddle?
Not really. We had prepared against it pretty well during the week. We had played against it last time, and I remember going into the fourth quarter, one of their players, I think it was a tight end, say, "You guys not tired yet?" No, we just started. So, no, it didn't affect us at all.
Yeah, now, listen, talk to me about getting the rest on the sideline. The offense played this entire game. That had to help you guys out there, too.
The offense, they kept the ball a long time. I remember in the third quarter, starting the third quarter, they had the ball, the first drive, 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And so we knew once we get ahead, if we can get ahead and get something going, those guys are going to run the tar out of that ball.
All right, LT, put it on the tee about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay. Let's go back over now to Lynn Swan. Lynn?
Thank you, Brent. The world of a kicker is very tough when you sit on the sideline and you're waiting for that moment. You're down there. Kelly's driving the ball. Your thoughts as they were moving the ball?
Well, I was excited about the opportunity. You know, saying to myself, Jim, get it down there. You know, I want to kick this one for the team. It's just a situation where you get one opportunity. It obviously didn't work out.
Did you know at that time it would have to be the longest field goal for you on grass?
Well, I knew it was a long kick, and I may have emphasized a bit too much trying to get a lot of leg into it, and it may have taken away a little bit from the follow-through and getting the ball to come in from the upright on that particular kick. Again, you know, you don't get a second opportunity. If I had a second opportunity, I might do something a little bit different on that.
Okay. Well, I know your teammates do appreciate the effort, and they're not down on you. They want you to come back and play strong. You know, and it's a tough time to go through. But you did a good job.
Well, thanks, Lynn. Again, I missed an opportunity for this football team. I feel badly, let a lot of people down, but, you know, as you said, you realize in this profession you got to come back off of times like this, and I'm certain that I'll do that.
Okay. Scott, thank you very much. Brett?
All right, Lynn, thank you very much. But one thing you can count on with the New York Giants, generally speaking, is a quick ball game. So let me set the menu for the rest of the evening here on ABC. We're going to break away now from Tampa Stadium, and you're going to be seeing Davis Rules. Then we're going to come back for a little bonus post-game show. We'll hear from some of the other stars, including members of the offensive line. We'll see all the highlights. The final score again, the New York Giants win Super Bowl 25. 20-19 over Buffalo. And we'll also be able to see the entire halftime show when we come back. So we'll see you in 30 minutes.
Saturday, the Pro Bowlers Tour heads to Texas for the Quaker State Open. Then on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the Magic Kingdom gets a brand new set of characters. The Clown Princes of Basketball, the Harlem Globetrotters, spread their special brand of magic in Walt Disney World. Plus, skating's top pairs shine at the NutraSweet World Challenge of Champions. ABC Sports coverage of Super Bowl 25 has been brought to you by Levi's Doctors. Relax, you're among friends. And by Drixoral, the 12-hour prescription strength cold medicine. Drixoral. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies. Jack. Spider. Crutch.
Did you see that? She couldn't take her eyes off of me.
Floyd.
It's a sophisticated little gathering.
4 smooth operators. Nobody ever wanted it more.
I found my image.
Or got it less.
Will you...
Book of Love. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 1st.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Which car has the best long-lasting protection against rust when scratched? Chevy Lumina, Ford Taurus, Honda Accord, or Mercedes-Benz? In these corrosion chambers, 30 days equals 2 years. Chevy Lumina's two-sided galvanized steel is unsurpassed in corrosion protection. With Ford, Honda, and Mercedes, sooner or later, you get this. By only scratching the surface, you can see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
That's today's Chevrolet.
You're watching News Channel 7 Buffalo.
I'm Peter Jennings at ABC News headquarters. That enormous oil spill in the Gulf, Saudi Arabian officials say it is drifting south towards them at about 15 to 20 miles a day. U.S. planes attacked the oil terminal where it began, trying to disable the pumps and stop the flow. The military says it will know tomorrow whether their operation worked. Another indication that the Allied pounding may have taken a heavy toll on Iraqi defenses. The Iranian news agency says that when Allied planes bombed the Iraqi city of Basra, which is very near the Iraqi border today, there was no anti-aircraft fire coming back up at them. And a British military spokesman said British pilots have noted fewer surface-to-air missiles being fired at them. As for the men and women in Saudi Arabia, that was some game for them. That's the latest from the Gulf, a Gulf News Update.
Touchdown in Tampa, Super Bowl Sunday.
This is Bob Kuczynski live in the Bills locker room. You're looking at Tampa Stadium, and obviously a very somber locker room here for the Buffalo Bills, losing that 20-19 decision to the New York Giants. We're going to try and get some interviews for you as we walk through the locker room here. And Mick, if you follow us here, we'll try to get on Ken Hall. Ken Hall, center for the Buffalo Bills. Let's see if we can pick up what he's saying.
We didn't do to get here, and it's a shame that we had to wait till now to do this.
I believe the Bills had one third down conversion the whole game. Why were you having difficulty in that area?
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to the Giants defense. I think they sacrificed their pass rush to get more coverage back there, and they took away a lot of the crossing routes where we usually make big plays with Andre breaking a tackle and Thurman breaking a tackle. And you know, and I got to give them a lot of credit. I think they executed their defensive game plan perfectly, and you know, and what else can I say?
Okay, that's center Ken Hall. Let's see if we can talk to Andre Reed here for a second. Andre, we're going live back to Buffalo. Can we talk to you for a second, babe?
Greg.
Well, Andre is being taken away by Scott Birchtold of the Bills, and he's going to be talking to the NFL out in the hallway, I guess, here in just a second. We'll try to find somebody else here to talk to very quickly. Obviously, we're somewhat limited as to how far we can go in the locker room here. See if we can call somebody over and get it on Daryl. Talk to Don. Can we talk to you real quick here for a minute? Well, Don Smith has to go find somebody, folks. Okay, he'll be right back. Live tell. Steve, can we talk? You were live back to Buffalo real quick here, buddy. Steve, you've been associated with our station all year. It's been a terrific season, and right now it's got to be a very tough time, not only for you, but the entire organization.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. A couple of us were just talking. You look back, and you in your mind that you had a pretty good year, but right now it feels like we lost every game, and it feels like we should be getting the first pick of the draft next year. We feel so bad. Everything kind of washes away, all the good times we had, all the big plays, all the great times. The undefeated homestand this year. It's hard to remember. It's going to take a while to get over this.
Is there any such thing as a good defeat? I mean, some guys say 1 point defeat's worse than a lopsided defeat, but to lose in the Super Bowl by a point, I think.
Yeah, it's tough to swallow, but I know it was even though we lost this game, and I've told you how disappointing it is, it's still the biggest game and probably the best game I've ever been associated with.
You know that the Buffalo Bills fans will be out en masse tomorrow as the team comes back. There was a parade scheduled regardless, and I imagine you guys, as much as you feel bad for yourselves, you knew all Buffalo was watching tonight, most of the New York State.
Yeah, it was a good Super Bowl. It was exciting. It had a national appeal. It had a flavor of being more important because of the fact that we're playing it in the situation in the world that we are, and the fact that it's a beacon that shines and can let people know that that we're still kicking over here, and let the guys over in the Middle East know that our thoughts are with them, and we're just trying to play. I'm glad it was a good game, and I just wish that we'd come up a little further,
Great. Thanks for talking with us.
You bet, Bob.
Steve Tacker, special teams ace. So let's see, Jimmy, we're live right now to Buffalo. Can we talk to you real quick, buddy? Real quick. Quarterback Jim Kelly.
Good idea.
Jimmy, geez, what do you ask at this point? What are your comments?
Well, it's hard, but when you write a Super Bowl script, everybody wants to come down to the last play, and that's exactly what happened. We knew we had to get the ball to the 30-yard line because we all had the confidence that, Scotty could put it through. He's won so many games for us, and he's definitely not to blame. We had so many opportunities in the first half that we didn't have, and the time possession definitely well slanted their side, but we knew as an offensive team when we had the football, we were going to have to score because we knew what type of offense they had.
Did they make any adjustments on defense that gave you problems?
No, it's just a matter of, there's, penalties hurt us early, drop passes, some misreads on my part. I think as an offensive team, we hurt ourselves in the first half. We should score more than 12 points, but you got to give the Giants a lot of credit. They came through when they had to, and when we had to take the ball down, we did. It was just one of those things that I guess it wasn't meant to be.
This is an awful tough time to reflect. You think maybe in a week, maybe a month, just this taste of it is going to make this team that much better?
Well, we know we got the taste of what's going to take. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it. We had 50% of our dream was to make it here. 50% was to win. I guess the other 50 we're just going to have to wait for.
Great. Thanks for talking.
No problem.
All right, Jimmy. Bills quarterback Jim Kelly. Let's see if we can talk to Darryl Talley here in a second before they... Well, I think they're going to be pulling him outside. Darryl right now talking with Bud Carpenter with the Bills, and we'll see if we can... Well, right now I'm told that we have Shane Conlon also that we taped earlier, so right now let's throw it to an earlier interview with Shane Conlon. Shane, you talked about not being able to stop the run. In this first half, for about 2 series, you stuffed them. And right after the safety, instead of the Bills capitalizing on that play, things seem to go the other way.
It's hard to figure out. I think it's just they really had the will to win, and obviously we did too, but it was just a great classic game. It just didn't work out for us, but yeah, you think the momentum switched, but they never gave up, and my hat's off to them. They're the best.
Just the kind of game this team will use to build on?
Yeah, I think we can build on anything, every game, and this is another one. Obviously, it's a big game. I think we'll know how to deal with things throughout the week and how to deal with game pressures, and we'll be back. I guarantee we'll be back.
Okay, now we have with us linebacker Darryl Talley. Darryl, you've always been one of the players that are willing to talk no matter what the circumstances, and I appreciate you talking with us right now. And I'll tell you the truth, I really can't imagine what's going through your mind.
Well, right now, what's going through my mind is I got this far, I got so close, and I let it slip away. You can't afford to do that in this game.
The Giants were able to dominate the clock, run the ball. You did come up tough in the last couple of series. But what were they doing? I mean, it seemed as though the play action did take some of the pass rush away.
Well, what it was, just a ball control offense, you know. They came up with the play action pass, and they were able to hit us on that. And a lot of times on the boot, you know, the boot killed us, I think, today. And a lot of times I think that was my responsibility.
99% of Buffalo is watching us right now, and I know most of those fans will be out there tomorrow when this team comes in. Do you have a message for the fans?
Thank you for supporting us, and hey, we'll give it our damnedest next year.
Daryl, thanks very much, buddy. Thank you. Linebacker Daryl Talley. See if we will be able to grab somebody else here before we say goodbye. We have Will Wolford over here, and let's see if we can get somebody else to chat with us here. We're kind of tied up on our wires. John, can we talk to you real quick, buddy? John Davis from the offensive line. John, this has been a storybook season for you, and I know this is not the way this team wanted it to end. What is going through your mind right now?
You know, I don't think there's any words that can describe. We just now got over getting here and realizing that we'd achieved one of our goals, and now we're going to have to go another week or two and go through our thoughts and see why we didn't win it.
Offensively, though the Giants, it seemed they were able to slow you down a touch, it seemed more drop passes, penalties. That's what stopped the Bills today.
Well, I think you know, we hurt ourselves, just like Jim said earlier in the week. The only way we stop the no huddle is hurt ourselves, and we did that in crucial situations. And I'm as much to blame as anybody with that holding penalty, and something you got to live with. I don't think the Giants outplayed us today. I feel like the Bills beat themselves.
John, most of Buffalo's watching right now, staying tuned since the broadcast, and many of them will be out there tomorrow. You got a special message for the Buffalo fans?
I just want to thank everybody. They've treated us great. They've treated me great, and I hope that I can come back again next year and be a part of the Bills. And next year we will be back, and one way or the other, we're going to go to Minnesota and bring home the ring for all the fans.
Thanks for talking, man.
Thank you.
John Davis. Right now, we're going to send it up to Keith Radford, who's outside the stadium, for a report from that point. Keith?
All right, good. Thank you, Bob. Once again, we are reporting to you live via satellite from Tampa Stadium tonight. It can't get any closer than this. A lot of the fans have exited the park now, but some of them have stayed around for us. Hi, how are you?
Hi, great.
What's your name?
Shannon from Buffalo.
What did you think about the game tonight?
I'm sorry we lost, but win or lose, we still get to go home to Buffalo.
Hi, how are you? What's your name, sir?
Mark Jurgen from Buffalo.
All right, Mark, what did you think about the game tonight? Obviously, everybody's disappointed.
Disappointed we lost, but I'll tell you what, I just thank the Bills. They got us this far, gave us all the opportunity to come down here.
Hi, Mom.
We had a good, hi, Mom, send money. We had a great time. We'll get them next year. There's no losers today.
All righty, hi. Hello, ladies. How are you? What's your name?
How are you? My name's Karen.
Where are you from, Karen?
From Buffalo. I live in West Seneca.
How long have you been down?
Just since, I think, come down Friday.
What did you think? Was the trip worth it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, Kathy Burmaster.
Where are you from, Kathy?
Kenmore.
Kenmore?
Yep.
What did you think of the game tonight?
It was a good game. It was probably one of the best ones in history.
Okay, thank you. All of you, thanks for staying here and talking with us. As you can see, the fans here in Tampa from Western New York are obviously disappointed, but hey, they still believe in this team, and they're all saying this was certainly a close one, but wait until next year. I think we're going to go back now to Bob Kuczynski. No, we're going to go back to Buffalo in the studio, I think. Let's go back to Buffalo now.
Right. Here we are back in Buffalo. I'm Irv Weinstein, Jerry Azar. This black armband doesn't seem to stay on. I'm a poor loser. I'll be honest about it. I thought the Bills took the loss much better than a lot of people I've talked to around here.
Well, they took the loss,
including myself,
the way you would expect them to, in the way
they're champions.
We've gotten a lot of calls here at the station as mass depression in the city. Proud of the team for the effort, proud of the way they played in the game, proud of the way they came back and had a chance to win it. But still, when you get that far, you want to win it. There's mass depression in our newsroom. We're supposed to be objective journalists, but you know we live in this community. We're tied to the team, and it's a sad day. We're not going to come out here and do rah-rahs and everything because we wanted to win.
Right.
Say we as a community.
Sure. We do want to, and we'll remind you again before the show goes off. We do want to remind you that there's going to be a big community-wide rally tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock, and we will be carrying that live to welcome back the Bills and tell them just what we think of the effort that they made, which was a tremendous, tremendous effort.
Watching the emotion in the locker room with the Bills, so many times when we watch professional football, the NFL, with all the money, with all the attention, you become very jaded because it is such a big business. And yet, when you see the reaction after a game like this, or whether it's a sandlot game, high school, college, or just going out in the backyard, you're competitive. It's all about winning and losing, and when you lose, it hurts. And there is much hurt on the faces of the Buffalo Bills as they lose a heartbreaker, the closest game in Super Bowl history, 20-19 to the New York Giants. It was really tough. There were many plays that were very memorable, very key, and will be ingrained in the memories of Buffalonians for a long time. Let's take a look at the highlights from Super Bowl 25. The Bills won the kickoff. They came out 3 plays. They could not convert, so they had to give the ball up as there's Tampa Stadium. And then the Giants will take over. And this was a real test because the Bills know they had to shut them down. Now, the Bills caught a break here. Hostetler has a wide-open Mark Bavaro and missed him. That could have been a touchdown, so they had to settle for a field goal. It made it 3-0 Giants. And then Jim Kelly goes long. The ball tipped into the hands of James Lofton all the way down. First and goal from the Bills from the 8. They will settle for a Scott Norwood field goal. He lines it up, this to tie it up. Bills trending at the time 3-0. It is good. And it's 3-3. The next time, yeah, it was good. The next time the Bills touch the ball, they move it. They give it to Don Smith. He busted in for the touchdown. And the Bills take the lead by the score of 10-3. I understand we'll get back to these highlights in just a minute. We have Bill Polian live in Tampa. So, from Buffalo, back to you, Bob Kuczynski, in the locker room in Tampa.
We're back now in the Bills locker room live with General Manager Bill Polian. Bill, thanks for coming over to speak to us. Bill, we've been talking all week long. All week long you said, I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but this team is going to play tough, and that they did.
Oh, yeah. Great credit to the coaching staff and the players. Came down to 12 inches away. You know, they say, the cliche says sports is a game of inches, and it was tonight. And, you know, we just came up on the short end, but it wasn't through any lack of effort or lack of toughness or lack of preparation. It just wasn't meant to be, I guess.
This is the type of football game where it's almost impossible to pinpoint one play and say that was the difference in the game.
No, it's impossible to, you know, it's like a 15-round heavyweight fight. You just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and sooner or later somebody wins. But I don't think there are any goats, and there are certainly a lot of heroes on both sides.
The Giants did exactly what you did not want them to do, and that was control the clock and run the ball on the ground.
Yeah, they ran the ball probably a little more than we would have liked them to. But give them credit, too. They're a great football team, and they're world champions, and they deserve it. And I guess from a tactical standpoint, they did that probably more than we would have liked. Kept our defense out there, but in the final analysis, we probably moved the ball better than they would have liked. Right. So, you know, it was one of those games. As I said, 2 great teams. I think the 2 best teams, at least for this year, are here, and congratulations to them. And for us, it's back to the drawing board and try to get back to Minneapolis and win next year.
Phil, knowing the Buffalo fans, they'll turn out en masse tomorrow when this team returns. They're watching us right now, and I know you guys said all along the 12th man helped you get here, and they're listening right now.
Well, I want to pay tribute to them and thank them so much for what they've done for us, and I hope that we made them proud tonight. It's just been, you know, it's been a good year.
Great. Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
Bill Polian, General Manager of the Bills. Tremendous season for this organization, and came, well, just 1 point short. Right now, we're going to send it back up to Keith outside the stadium, and we'll be back in the locker room with more interviews. Keith?
No, we're back here in the studio back in Buffalo, and we'll be back with more of the show in a moment.
Economists say we're in for some stormy weather. Happily, there is a bright spot. Right now at your Hyundai dealer, you can buy this V6-powered Sonata, a roomy mid-size sedan with automatic and stereo, and get air conditioning at no extra charge. Plus $750 factory cash back means it's just $11,745. So get a big car for less than a lot of small cars, and you'll be singing in the rain. See your Hyundai dealer now. It could be the smartest economic move you make all year.
How do I know where to get my brakes done right?
Come to Midas. There's a lot of value in our $59 or $69 basic brake service. And you get something else. Peace of mind.
knowing you get a thorough inspection by Midas-trained experts and a written estimate up front. Knowing every brake shoe and pad is guaranteed for as long as you own your car, and knowing the job will be done right. That's why more people come to us for brakes, knowing that nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
You're doing more to get the best deals possible. And Gold Dome's doing more with Best Deal Checking. It's free to $19.93. Write all the checks you need. There's no charge. And no monthly fee, even if your balance goes down to $1. Combine Best Deal Checking with a Gold Dome savings account on one statement with one ATM card. To get your best deal, stop by Gold Dome during our convenient customer hours.
Now, Pizza Hut is serving up an abundance of toppings and savings on 2 great pizzas. Pizza Hut Supreme, America's favorite 6-toppings pizza, and America's newest fully loaded pizza, Pepperoni Supreme. Enjoy either for a sizzling $6.99 and win America's newest full-size family car, a 1992 Ford Crown Victoria. New Pepperoni Supreme or Classic Supreme, just $6.99 at Pizza Hut.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our post-game coverage. Irv Weinstein with Jerry Azar. As you know, if you were watching the game, and I know most of you were, at halftime, ABC broke away from the halftime show to go to a Persian Gulf update with Peter Jennings. They said that they would show the halftime stuff later. We understand, and we got plenty calls here at the station, people who wanted to see the halftime show, that now ABC will not show it. That's not our call. We're just the affiliate. They're the network. So
Don't write to us, please.
You will not see
Write to
halftime
ABC.
highlights, but we're going to continue our coverage, and Irv's got an announcement right now.
Right. And as a matter of fact, there were probably thousands of you all over the Niagara frontier sitting there wanting to tell someone exactly how you feel about tonight's game. Well, we're going to give you an opportunity. We're going to open a phone line a little later on, so stick around with us. Now, all over Western New York, we had hoped by this time, you know, people would be tossing party hats in the air and jumping up and down and screaming. Some of them were screaming, but for reasons other than what they originally planned.
We're going to have some celebrations, and one such gathering place is Pat McGinty's Bar on Swan Street, where the Eyewitness News reporters Fred D'Souza and Lisa Flynn are standing by. Fred and Lisa.
Well, Jerry and Irv, the one thing you can always say about Buffalo Bills fans through the years is that they've always stuck by their team, and tonight they're doing the same. There are plenty of people here who want to tell us how they feel. They're hurting, yet they're sticking by the team after all these years.
Lisa, there's a lot of people here with tears, but there's also a lot of people that are standing proud because they've been lifelong Bills fans. Let's talk to one right now. You watched the whole game. I mean, what were you thinking just before that field goal and when you saw it kick?
Well, I just kept on thinking that we're as proud of the Bills as we are of our men in the Persian Gulf, and I think they did a great job today, and I can't wait for them to come home tomorrow and for us to cheer for them in Niagara Square.
What do you think? How's this going to affect them next year? Are they going to be that much more ready to play next year, you think?
I think we're going to be awesome. I can't wait. I just can't wait. I think like everybody else, we just can't wait for the Bills next year. Yay, Bills, yay, Jim Kelly, you know?
There's plenty of Bills fans in this place, and Lisa's going to go talk to some right now.
Right, and we have some fans who are already thinking of next year. This gentleman here, I know it's a heartbreaker, but how do you feel?
Hi, how are you? Hi, Buffalo. I'd like to extend a personal invitation to Marv Levy, Ralph Wilson, the owner of the Buffalo Bills, and all the people in Buffalo, New York, to help join us in a Super Bowl next year for Super Bowl 26 in Buffalo, New York next year.
Okay, are you disheartened at all by this? It was a tough loss, but you're sticking by the team.
Well, what I like to say is we're proud of the Bills, but we love our boys in Saudi Arabia. Come home soon. We love you, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, we're going to leave you tonight. We've got a guy here with a harmonica, and he's going to play some Buffalo Bills blues for us, so go for it. Okay, guys, back to you.
Boy, I'll tell you, you know, nothing like those Buffalo Bills fans, you know. Do they lie down on the floor and cry? No, they're still cheering their team on, playing a harmonica. You know, it's wonderful. But however, admittedly, the mood is considerably more subdued than it would have been.
Well, this franchise is far from bankrupt with talent and a future. They will bounce back. They will build on this. It's like many times you get to the place you want to be, but you don't get over the hump. They've made it there. Next year, something to shoot for. They'll have all that experience of being champions. getting to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And if you have to bet on the team getting back there, this team is loaded.
Right.
I'm sure with the brain trust, they'll have a great draft and everything.
Right. Well, we just saw how things were going at Pat McGinty's. The mood is similar along the Elmwood Strip in Buffalo right now, I understand.
And that's where Winston Brown and Susan Banks are standing by with the live eye. Winston and Susan.
Take it away.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Irvin Jerry. You know, what Lisa and Fred said, I just have to echo. You cannot keep down a Buffalo Bills fan. We have been through the mill for a lot of years. Now, I have a fan here. What's your name?
Marissa Vitagliano.
What's your mood right now, my dear?
Well, I'm sad because they lost, but there's always next year. We're going to win next year. Yay!
Okay, how about you?
Hey, I'm from Welland, but I go to school in Ottawa, and Welland, from Fort Erie to Welland to Ottawa, the Bills rule. Next year we will win. I promise you that.
Yes.
From Canada, the Buffalo Bills have tried their hardest, and next year they will win. Definitely.
Yes. How about you?
I think the Bills are definitely in trouble when they get home.
Well, now that's an entirely different view from any we've heard yet, but people are honest about how they feel. I would say that after that 47-yard field goal didn't quite make it through the old goalpost, a lot of people cleared out, but a lot of people are coming in. Everybody seems to want to be together and sort of talk it over, work it out, and drink a little bit and try to forget. So we're going to be here for a while, Jerry and Irv, helping people to sort of sort it out, get over their depression.
Okay, thank you very much, Susan. Under the circumstances, you probably won't have too much fun down there, but have as much fun as you can. They're probably not having a heck of a lot of fun, I know, for sure, down in Tampa right now, but we're going to go back there right now, and Bob Kuczynski. Bob?
Go, Bob.
Go, Bob. Bob,
We're live
speak.
back in the Bills locker room with us receiver James Lofton. James, we're not going to analyze the kick. We've done that already. There were times in this football game, especially in the first half, when it looked like this team was ready to pull away. What happened?
Well, we had some opportunities to make some plays, and we just didn't. We came up a little short, and you know, I think the guys have to be proud of what they accomplished just to get here, because it is not an easy task. There were 26 other teams who were sitting at home, and we did a little better than most of those just to get here. And you know, I think they have to be very proud of it, and you know, you can build from this. You know, our team is together, and we had some great performances, and I just hope it carries on.
You talk about building from this. Now that these players have gotten a little taste of it, I mean, does that necessarily mean this team is going to be that much better next year?
Well, I think what this team learned from this season is that you play one game at a time, you play one play at a time. And there were a couple of games early in the year where we were out of, and we came back so that we could stay in the race. And you know, it's important that you look at the game and you draw out of it what positives that you can. You can't be disappointed that you didn't win, because there was going to be a winner and a loser regardless of whatever we wanted. And I thought we played very well, had an opportunity to win the game at the end, and just came up a little short.
Fans of Buffalo watching right now, and I know that they've been a big part of your season all year.
Well, you know, without those guys, we probably wouldn't have been here. You know, Miami had to come into a madhouse, as did the Raiders, and you know, we took advantage of the 12th person up in the stands, and there were a lot of people down here pulling for us today, and you know, we wanted to pull it off, and you know, I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow at the parade.
Great. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
James Lofton, receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Right now, we're going to go to a gentleman who feels pretty low at this point, but we talked to him moments ago, field goal kicker Scott Norwood.
Well, you go through the elements of the kick that you think are going to be important at the moment, and I felt like in reflection, of course, you don't get a second try, but I may have stress trying to kick the ball strongly a bit too much. It was a strong kick. I hit it very good on my foot, but maybe in doing that, I set myself up mechanically for shortcoming, you know, bringing the hips through. Maybe they didn't come around a little bit. Maybe I didn't do it pretty quickly in the plant foot. I think probably it was down the field just a little further than it should be. And as a result, didn't get the type of follow through and draw that you know, that kick needed. So.
Was the distance a problem? You seem to have enough leg.
Well, it wasn't going to be a problem because, again, I was going to emphasize it and kick a strong ball. I look back at a playoff game a few weeks ago where, Nick Lowry tried a long attempt and had it right on target and fell short from pretty close to the same distance, a longer kick. And had he a chance to try it again, maybe he'd emphasize hitting it a bit longer. So
this is really the nature of your job, isn't it? I mean, you come in, a couple seconds left on the clock. I mean, you're either the hero or you're not. I mean, you have to stand and watch this game for most of the football contest. You're called in at one spot, and it's a pressure situation, and that's your profession.
Well, that is, and I realized that I let a lot of people down. There's no getting around that. But, did the best I could at the moment, and I couldn't do any more.
Thanks for talking. Well, that was Scott Norwood, field goal kicker for the Buffalo Bills. And before we go back to Buffalo, I have to say one thing. That is the fact, folks in Buffalo, I'm sure you realize right now we're going live from the losing locker room of the Super Bowl. It speaks yards for these players that they were gracious enough not only to do the interview, but to go on live with us. And as most of you heard, they had messages to the fans in the city of Buffalo. Now, tomorrow this team will arrive in Buffalo. We'll go through a parade, one that was hoped to have been a victory parade. They will go down to Niagara Square. And as they all spoke about the 12th person, I would hope that you would turn out in throngs to show these fellows just what you think of them. It speaks for the maturity of this team. Many a locker room has been closed, not only after defeat, but after one such as this, these players still came forward and had a message to those of you watching back in Buffalo. This is Bob Kaczynski from the Bills locker room. Right now, we're going to send it back to Buffalo and Jerry Azar. Jerry?
Okay, Bob, and for you fans who have called in, we're going to get to your phone calls very soon, but right now we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back with more of our post-game coverage from Tampa.
Buffalo, time is running out on the biggest sales event of the year going on right now at Diners and More. Save 50 to 75% off on all discontinued styles, floor samples, and overstocked merchandise. Our January clearance sale is ending. Further markdowns have been made on already drastically reduced items. If you plan to buy kitchen, dinette, or dining room furniture this year, don't miss this sale. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday only at Diners and More, Seneca Square, West Seneca, and Transit Road, Williamsville.
All the way live from our home studio. It's Ricky and D. With a new kind of steak for a new kind of cowboy. Kick it, jump, yippee-yi. Yo, McDonald's has something big cooking. A grilled steak set with sauteed onions and mushrooms on a sourdough roll. Yo, man, the steak sauce is death. Yeah, mighty fine dining. And mighty filling with McDonald's fries. But you better giddy on up before the grilled steak sandwich is gone. Word up. Always good food. Always good value. Kex Coffee Store.
Kex is better than the best. Why? Kex has the people for sales, service, and support. Your organization will run smoother with Canon NP and CLC copiers. From reliable desktop models to the latest in color copying technology, Canon NP and CLC are unsurpassed. See what Canon and Kex can do for you today with great performance, price, and superior quality.
Kex Coffee Store.
Better than the best.
As far as you can see, oh, we know Buffalo's watching News Channel 7.
Right. Well, not a lot of smiles around the Niagara Frontier tonight or down in Tampa among Bills fans. Again, just a reminder that rally tomorrow is going to be at 3 o'clock. You know, Scott Norwood said, I did my best. And boy, that's all you can do. What a fine group of young men. And I hope everyone will get out to that rally. We're going to go to the phones now, and Jerry's going to talk to some viewers, see how you feel.
Okay, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, I'm Chris from West Seneca.
Hi, Chris.
I really don't think the Bills tried hard enough.
You don't think the Bills what?
I don't try hard enough.
Oh, please. Where do you get... where do you,
Okay.
That's your opinion, but
Okay,
what-
that's fine, Chris. Thank you. Next.
Okay. Hello, you're on the air with us.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I'm from the Buffalo area, and I think the Bills played a terrific game. I'm a diehard Bills fan, and we're going to come back next year and win bigger and better than this year.
Hey.
That's a very
Go
good
Bills,
attitude.
go!
Go.
Very good attitude.
Good. Thank
you.
you.
For your call. You're on the air.
Yes, hi, I'm Shirley from Buffalo.
Hi, Shirley.
To New York. And I have been a Bills fan since Jack Kemp era. And I think the Bills are tremendous, and I think they deserve a lot of credit. I really appreciate the Bills. They've done a lot for Buffalo, and I love every one of them, especially that Thurman Thomas. He's our champ.
Played a super game. Well,
Yeah.
It sure
This
did.
is the kind of spirit we'll see tomorrow
Absolutely.
at Napa
Right.
Square.
And may they go all the way next year.
Something
Maybe.
to build on. Thank you
Great.
for the call.
Thank you, Shirley.
Hi, you're on the air.
Oh, my name is Tyrone McDuffie from Buffalo.
Okay.
And I felt that Thurman Thomas had played an exceptional game. And I think that we should look to win Randy White, won the Most Valuable Player Award in a losing cause. And I think Thurman should have been in consideration for that award also. And Cornelius Bennett played a well game, too.
There were some great individual efforts out there. And you have to figure that when the Giants set an all-time Super Bowl record for time of possession, just about almost doubling and a half the Bills' time of possession, and the Bills still are in a position to win it and only come up short by 1 point. There were some things they could have done more, but you can say that in just about every
Absolutely.
game. They played a tough game against an underrated team that knocked off the two-time Super Bowl champion 49ers.
Right. One thing
Almost.
you can say, that was not a boring game. No.
The one 2 years ago where Joe Montana pulled it out against the Cincinnati Bengals, they'll say was one of the most exciting. This one will either supersede that or be right up there like 1 in 1A.
Right.
Tremendous
Okay, thank you for calling.
Thanks for the call.
Next.
You're on the air.
Hi, I'm Becky from Amherst. I hate to say the Bills didn't play as well as they've been playing, and I think that they were overconfident, and this town got carried away.
Yes.
And I'm happy for the Giants' second string quarterback who played exceptionally well. And Scott Norwood is not at fault by any means.
Absolutely.
No, Scott was too tough on himself.
Do you think the fact the experts were predicting a Bills win might have had a deleterious effect on the Bills playing?
Well, first of all, coming off the heels of a 51-3 thrashing of the L.A. Raiders, the line started to climb and everybody was on a Bills bandwagon. But then you start to think, these are the New York Giants. They've been there. Like I said, they beat the 49ers. And there was a groundswell of Giant support as the week went on, leading up to till game time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Bye-bye.
call. Sorry. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, I'd like to say that I'm really proud of the Bills, and then I'll be at Niagara Square tomorrow cheering them
Great.
on.
Terrific.
I was wondering, during the halftime show, where were the new kids on the block?
The new kids on the block?
Yeah, how
don't
come
know.
they weren't there?
I think they were counting their money.
Oh, really?
They're going to make $87 million this year. I think they were just off to the side checking with their accountant.
Okay,
all right,
thank you. I just want to say that I'm very proud of the Bills, and they did very well. And we still love Scott Norwood anyway. And everybody's going to be there at Niagara Square cheering them on tomorrow.
Great. Thank you very much. I hope we do have a huge crowd out there tomorrow, and we'll be back in a minute.
How do I know where to get my brakes done right?
Come to Midas. There's a lot of value in our $59 or $69 basic brake service. And you get something else. Peace of mind. Knowing you get a thorough inspection by Midas-trained experts and a written estimate up front. Knowing every brake shoe and pad is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. And knowing the job will be done right. That's why more people come to us for brakes, knowing that nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
You're doing more to get the best deals possible. And Gold Dome's doing more with Best Deal Checking. It's free to $19.93. Write all the checks you need. There's no charge. And no monthly fee, even if your balance goes down to $1. Combine Best Deal Checking with a Gold Dome savings account on one statement with one ATM card. To get your best deal, stop by Gold Dome during our convenient customer hours.
For 4 days in January, Highland has one goal: movement of inventory. Highland's pre-inventory clearance is set for January 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. Thursday the 31st, Highland will be closed to count everything not sold. Because Highland finds themselves with massive quantities of goods, these are not sale prices, they are clearance prices. Get this Packard Bell 286AT computer with 40 meg hard drive for just $9.98. Monitor sold separately. Highland's pre-inventory clearance is now through Wednesday. Closed Thursday. We'd rather sell it than count.
Go Bills all the way in Tampa Bay. And to thank our team for a great Super Bowl season, we want you to come to Niagara Square in downtown Buffalo, Monday, January 28th at 3 p.m. It's a Buffalo Bills Welcome Home Rally, sponsored by the City of Buffalo, Erie County, and the Buffalo Chamber of Commerce Convention and Visitors Bureau. Now, don't go to the airport. You won't get to see the team there. And remember, take the Metro Rail or ride the bus to the Buffalo Bills Welcome Home Rally, Monday, January 28th at 3 p.m. at Niagara Square.
We are back once again, reporting live via satellite from just outside of Tampa Stadium. The game obviously over now. The locker room is cleared out, as we've seen the interviews from Bob Kaczynski. Joining us now, Erie County Executive Dennis Gorski, who has been here for the last day or two. I don't think I've ever seen you so dejected.
Well, I don't know what can be said. I was sitting with Caldwell Garner's mother, and we were embracing because we thought it was a good field goal, and then I saw some giant players rolling around in ecstasy, and then we realized it wasn't successful. But I think we had a great season, and I think we owe an awful lot to Marv Levy and to Bill Polian for giving us the type of season we had. We had a great deal of excitement, and if there's any consolation, it's the fact that Buffalo, and yes, the Giants, gave the people of this nation, if not the world, the greatest Super Bowl in 25 years. It was certainly the most exciting and the closest. So
I believe it was the closest score of any Super Bowl in history. The other one was way back Super Bowl number 5. There was a 3-point difference. This one, just 1 point, and can't get any closer than that.
But I can't tell you how great the Buffalonians were down here. Canadian supporters and people from northern Pennsylvania all rooting, and it was a great camaraderie and a great esprit de corps. And what are you going to do? We'll be maybe in Minnesota next year. But by the way, we're still going to do the thing tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
What's on tap now for tomorrow?
Well, we get out of here. We'll be back in Buffalo and still scheduled for around 3 o'clock. Now, we assumed the Bills would win. Now, if we're going to have to advise everybody back home simply to listen to the radio and watch television on the arrival time. But we're still planning on being in Niagara Square sometime around 3 o'clock and greeting the team. So I think we owe them an awful lot because we had an awful lot of excitement. So we still got to cheer them on. And Minnesota in 92.
And I understand they're urging people not to actually go out to the airport tomorrow, but to wait for the rally downtown and the parade downtown.
Right, because the players are, as I understand, security from the NFDA are not going to come through the reception area as they traditionally do. They're going to get immediately on a bus and come on a route down to downtown Buffalo. So we're going to be there and say thank you very, very much for what is a very exciting year.
All right, Dennis, thanks very much for being down here and speaking with us several times, both at our location down at Harbor Island earlier this week and here at Tampa Stadium tonight. Have a nice trip home. We'll see you back tomorrow.
Okay, take care.
All righty, thank you. Let's go back to the studio now in Buffalo.
Okay, Keith, has anyone seen the mayor? No, Keith's gone?
One thing I understand about coming up tomorrow, 10 of the Bills are going to Hawaii for the All-Pro game, and I had heard, and maybe we can check this out and pass it on a little bit later, that 10 of the players will not be coming back here to Buffalo. They will go straight from Tampa to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl. So it's a lot of the big-name players. 10 of the Bills are All-Pros who won't be back here. They'll be making the flight to Hawaii.
And that's interesting that they're going to play the 92 Super Bowl in Minnesota. But it's under a dome. It's not going to be outdoors.
They played in Detroit, the Silver Dome, in Pontiac, Michigan, a few years ago. And I think it's the only time it's been in a cold weather climate. If we ever get a dome here, you never know.
Yeah. Well, that's another question.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
When we first opened up the phones, the one lady who called in and voiced her opinion, we asked her to call, then she says, I don't think the Bills played very hard, didn't play their hearts out, and we kind of like cut her off. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. Maybe it was just a little bit the fan reacting more than the broadcaster here, but if I was a little curt with you, I think I owe you an apology. You were entitled to an opinion, and we did ask you to call, so I didn't mean to cut you off directly like that.
Okay.
I apologized on air. Boy, this is a first today.
Yeah, that's probably a first in your career, isn't it, Jerry? I think that everybody said it was going to be a fairly close game. You predicted what, 27?
I said Bills 27, Giants 20.
Right. I predicted Bills 122
to something
to 80, I think it was. I was off about 100 100 points.
You also predicted Custer at the Little Bighorns. Speaking of miniseries coming up next week on ABC.
Yeah, right.
Son of the Morning Star.
Right.
We're going to do a newscast. News Channel 7 follows directly up here, but right now I think
Okay, right now we're going to Susan Banks at Tunes. Susan and Winston.
Irv, we've been trying to figure out why everybody is still cheering. And I think they're in shock, Winston.
Well, I think that no one wanted to lose the Super Bowl, but at the same time, I'm sure that all the fans are saying that next year we can get back there and we can do it.
Let's check with a fan. We just happen to have a fan right here standing by with his American flag on. Now, are you optimistic about next year?
Yes, I am. I think the Bills have what it takes to go next year, and they're going to build on this, and they're going to have a great year next year.
Now, we did forget one little thing earlier, and we want to mention that we are at Tunes on Elmwood Avenue. Oh, there's the little name, but we're going to show you again. This is their T-shirt, see? Because we forgot, payback is tough, Winston.
It sure is, and I'm sure we'll be back next year.
Okay. Now, again, all I can say is Buffalo Bills fans are a resilient bunch. Hey, it takes a lot more than a Super Bowl loss to keep us down. Yeah, we're sad. We're miserable.
Of course.
Yeah, but we can take it because we're going to be back next year. Irvin, Jerry, back to you.
Well, Susan, you look great even when you're miserable. You know, you do, Winston.
The fans are happy because they're sort of an antidepressant for right now, but...
Well, you know, there's no question about it. The Buffalo Bills have made a tremendous effort all season long and also down in Tampa. And the Eyewitness News team made a darn good effort covering all of the activities all this week. People think you're on vacation down there. You work round the clock, filing reports and lining up people and so forth and so on. So we're going to go back now. And thanks, guys. You did a terrific job.
I agree. This was day 8 for Keith down there in Tampa.
All right, thank you, Irv. We're back once again live just outside of Tampa Stadium, and we had word just a few moments ago, and I believe we have pictures for you, that the Buffalo Bills have now indeed loaded onto their buses just outside of the stadium here in Tampa. No one's left in the locker room. We saw the interviews with Bob Kaczynski a short time ago. They've loaded onto their buses, gone back to their hotel, and as far as we know right now, they're expected to leave here around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, roughly, and are expected back in Buffalo around 3 or 3:30. Steve Boyd joins me now. Steve was outside talking to a lot of people in the crowd in the stands tonight during the game. Obviously, a lot of people are disappointed, but boy, these Buffalo fans are very loyal.
You hear them in the back. Buffalo's still #1, and as you saw in that video, Buffalo Bills fans were surrounding the buses, cheering their players on. It's a disappointing night, but it's an end to a great season for the Buffalo Bills. We were across from the stadium at a mall area where the game was being broadcast on the side of a Sears building, and the Bills fans there, of course, in great numbers, having a great time tonight. It's a great experience, and normally the Super Bowl is a horrible football game. This is going to have to go down as one of the great contests of all time.
I keep saying, couldn't get any closer than that. Well, that's it from Tampa for right now. Don't forget, stay tuned for Eyewitness News Nightcast right here on News Channel 7. We'll have lots more for you, reaction from the fans and the players from Super Bowl 25. Back to the studio.
You're watching News Channel 7 Buffalo.
When you taste Progresso, you know it. There's no soup quite like it. Progresso has that sunny Italian flavor. A special goodness all its own.
There's no soup like Progresso. Everyone's just crazy about Americans.
Don't ever tell a cab driver where you're going. They're spies.
Everyone has advice about going abroad.
Go in September. The country's empty.
Because of the locusts.
But get to know about a place before you go.
If you pick up another man's dry cleaning, then you have to marry his daughter.
For sensible information, write for the free brochure Americans Abroad, Pueblo, Colorado.
Always eat with your mouth wide open.
The Bills come within 5 feet of a Super Bowl crown. This is Eyewitness News Nightcast. I'm Irv Weinstein.
And I'm Kathleen Layton. It was a game that will be remembered as one of the most memorable Super Bowls in history. But for all of us Bills fans, the moment we will always remember will be the agonizing ending.
That's right. That's when Scott Norwood's kick sailed wide right of the goalpost. Our Super Bowl season was over. It was not the way we planned it. The night had begun as one of celebration at gathering places across western New York. The streets deserted as fans fastened their eyes on the action in Tampa. But this one just wasn't to be.
So this night, when many people had planned on celebrating, has turned into something quite different.
Night spots that were supposed to be hopping are in fact quite somber at this hour. Let's check in with our live eye at Tunes once again on Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo. Eyewitness News reporters Winston Brown and Susan Banks.
Irving, Kathleen, you're absolutely right. I mean, clearly there was supposed to be a celebration here.
Yes.
But, you know, again, I have to tell you, people are not somber. They're not unhappy, are they?
No, they're not. I think that everyone is anticipating what will happen next year.
That's really it. Winston put it well, I thought. He said that fans are gearing up now. After they got over the shock of losing the Super Bowl in those last few heartbreaking seconds, then they said, okay, let's start getting ready for next season. So that's basically what it's boiling down to.
Well, this is not the only party that was happening tonight. There were a number of unusual parties happening around Western New York.
In Lancaster, more than 100 Bills fans braved the weather to watch the Super Bowl at a poolside party.
Everything's going fine. We're having a good time here. Food's good. Weather's perfect.
In Depew, Bills fans watched the Super Bowl while enjoying a beach setting in the basement of Tim and Debbie Geary's home.
Yeah, we're all excited about the game. We're in Buffalo.
And what would a Super Bowl party be without a goalpost? Bills fans in Tonawanda put up their own.
Before anything else is done, we'd like to send our wishes and the best of everything out to the guys over there, because that is primary on the list. The Bills and the Super Bowl is secondary. The troops come first.
And in fact, Winston, I've seen a lot of people here with American flags and with a lot of patriotic fervor, besides Bills fervor.
That's true. I think that the Super Bowl brought out, I think, the sports fan, and it also brought out patriotism.
Yeah, it did. So, hey, we have a lot of other things to think about. For a few brief shining moments, hey, folks, this team is a bunch of winners, and we just can't say enough about them.
That's true.
Okay. Irving, Kathleen, yeah, okay. As I said before, we're not happy, but we're not miserable over here either. We're optimistic about next season. Back to you two.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Well, of course, the cause for the frowns in Buffalo tonight is what took place on the field earlier at Tampa Stadium.
That's right, and Jerry Azar has spent most of today keeping track of key action on both sides. Jerry?
You know, I got an interesting quote. When the Bills beat the Raiders 51-3, and the Giants got there with a last-second field goal win over the San Francisco 49ers, linebacker Cornelius Bennett says, you know, if we lose the Super Bowl, I want to lose by the big margin like we beat the Raiders, because if it came down to a last-second field goal, losing by 1 point, I couldn't take it. How does it come out?
Sorry, Cornelius.
It hurts worse, I think, by 1 point.
Almost prophetic that he would come up with that. It is a disappointing day for the Buffalo Bills, to say the least. They had the lead at halftime, 12-10, but we're going to pick it up with second-half highlights. Bills protecting lead 12-10, but the Giants take the kickoff, march down the field. O.J. Anderson busted in from 1 yard out. They take the lead 17-12 over the Giants. Fourth quarter, look at this great run by Thurman Thomas, reminiscent of the great run by John Riggins against the Dolphins. Touchdown, Bills. They take a 19-17 lead, but following a Matt Barr field goal to put the Giants up, this was to win it. Scott Norwood had enough leg. It was wide, no good. The final score, the Giants win it 20-19. Tough. Right now, let's check in with our folks in Tampa who are standing by. Bob Kuchinski, take it away, Bob.
I'm standing by now, as you can see, in the locker room with the pegs all packed, ready to go back to Buffalo. They'll be leaving tomorrow morning. They will be in Niagara Square sometime tomorrow afternoon between 3:30 and 4, I would gather. Because of the way we're wired up here, Jerry, I can't hear what you're saying to me, but I'm sure that you've echoed the sentiments. Fans all over Western New York. The Bills came but 1 point away from winning Super Bowl 25. And many say that a loss by 1 point is worse than a loss by 50. Well, I don't know. I think the LA Raiders last week felt much worse than the Buffalo Bills may right now, having played in the Super Bowl. We were in here moments after the game was over. We talked to the players, and these were their comments.
Again, you want to keep your head down. That's very important. Stay down when you do it, but probably what went wrong was probably my hips didn't come through enough to bring the ball in. Didn't do a draw to it. Bring it in off that right up ladder.
Our biggest thing is we didn't stop the run. Plus, we played about as stupidly as we possibly could. Myself included, we just did some dumb things, and they exploited them. And you're not going to win football games when that happens.
You know, I feel bad for the guy because I know the type of people that are in Buffalo, and they're going to write something bad about him. And it's just a bad feeling that he had to come down to his foot and he missed it.
We have a taste in our mouth that we know what it takes to get the job done, but we might just have to postpone it for a little bit longer because this year the Giants are the best team in the National Football League. I want to give them credit. They deserve. They came out and played an excellent game. This is a game that we knew it was going to come down to the last part of it, and that's exactly what happened. Came down to the last field goal.
Okay, those were the players after Super Bowl 25, a 20-19 final. You've heard what the players have had to say. Folks, really, what could they say at this point? But Bill Polian said it best. 12 inches away from a victory. Last year, they had a drop pass against the Cleveland Browns, which prevented them from going to the AFC Championship game. This team built on that and made it to the Super Bowl. My guess is they're going to build on this defeat, come back even stronger in 1991. If anything, if past history has proven true for this team and the way Bill Polian and Marv Levy put it together, you got to feel proud of what they've done this year. You got to feel bad about the defeat. But as they say, there's always a victor, and there's always one who is not the victor. We won't call the Buffalo Bills losers on this evening. Right now, let's go outside to Keith Radford, who's outside the Tampa Stadium. Keith?
All right, thank you, Bob. You know, there were 74,000 fans and about 3,000 members of the media. Many of them were cheering on both the Bills and the Giants inside of Tampa Stadium here tonight. But really, this was much more than just a football game here in Tampa. These people have enough patriotic spirit to fill up about 10 football stadiums. Eyewitness News reporter Steve Boyd found that out earlier tonight.
Not all Bills fans were lucky enough to get tickets to the games, but these loyal Bills fans wanted to be close to the stadium anyway. And while thousands of people who came here were focused on the Super Bowl, in the back of everyone's mind are the men and women serving in the Persian Gulf.
USA! 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 Got a friend in the Coast Guard over there in the reserve out of Buffalo. I hope he's watching the game right now. It's been a great game.
We're handing out these ribbons. Everyone, they just had the news on. They just had the president on. Everyone is concerned about the troops still.
And even though one team had to come away a winner and one a loser, all the fans here realize that what's happening here is just a football game compared to what's happening in the Persian Gulf. At the site of the Super Bowl, Steve Boyd, Eyewitness News.
We are back once again. Now, we told you a short time ago the Buffalo Bills didn't really waste too much time staying around the stadium tonight. They loaded up on their buses. As you can see, a lot of the Buffalo fans who are here from Western New York and a lot of people here in Tampa who used to live in Buffalo waited for them outside of the stadium. They obviously dejected, loaded onto their buses. They headed back downtown, or back out near the airport, actually, to the Hilton Hotel where they've been staying here all week long. They will head back to Buffalo tomorrow. It's expected they're going to leave about 1 o'clock and should be back in the Buffalo area by about 3 or 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. So that does it for right now from Tampa Stadium. This is Keith Radford reporting live via satellite. Let's go back to the studio. Irv and Kathleen.
We're all back, all three of us. You know, in their glory days, the Dallas Cowboys were known as America's team, but the Bills But the exciting team that they had this year is not only the team from Western New York for transplanted Buffalonians, but they've made fans all over the country. So the Bills, during this campaign, made a lot of converts and know what kind of great team that the Bills have here in Western New York.
Absolutely.
And they'll come back and go to Minneapolis next year.
And the city got some good publicity out of this,
absolutely,
which is great. Okay, thanks a lot, Jerry. Now, once again, another reminder, we've mentioned it several times already, we're going to have a chance to really give the Bills a big welcome home in person tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock, a rally set in Niagara Square, and we're all going to be among some pretty powerful political company.
We certainly will. Governor Mario Cuomo is promising he will be on hand tomorrow to welcome the team back to Buffalo. Again, the rally is set for 3 o'clock tomorrow at Niagara Square. If you can't be there in person, join us live tomorrow afternoon here on News Channel 7 for all of the action. Now, even with the loss, this season really has been a remarkable ride.
It sure has. In fact, this night has been one to remember in the Queen City. Let's check in with our live eye at McGinty's in Buffalo. That's where we join Nightcast reporter Fred D'Souza. Fred?
Well, Irvin, Kathleen, I'm here with Lisa Flynn, and I think a lot of fans realize that there are a lot of teams in the NFL that would envy the Bills right now just to make it to the Super Bowl. Isn't that true?
That is. These fans have been great tonight. There were some teary-eyed people here, but now they're bouncing back and they're realizing what a great season the Bills have. Fans young and old. We have a young boy here. It's awfully late, but he's out here because he loves the team, and many of these people do too.
The party here is starting to wind down, as it is in many other places in Western New York, and that could be a problem when it comes to going home. It's a lonely night for these two graduates of the police academy. The Buffalo Police Department has 7 teams of recruits out walking the beat tonight to make sure the all-day partiers don't get out of hand.
Well, it's very important because we're in the national attention with the national media, and we hope to keep things under control.
The police really don't know what to expect tonight. There's no way to predict what will happen to these streets if Buffalo wins. There will be extra patrols out along with 4 canine units. If there is celebrating to do, the police hope it's safe. Drunk drivers will be a big concern.
Yeah, it's totally unpredictable. It's never happened before. 25 years, first time the Buffalo's ever made the Super Bowl.
At about 10 o'clock tonight, all the recruits and more officers got into patrol cars. What awaits them, nobody knows. Well, tomorrow at the big pep rally, they plan to have 185 officers on duty. It probably won't be as rowdy as if the Bills won, but they were there anyway just in case. Now, believe it or not, there are some people that really didn't care less what happened to the Bills today. It took a long time to find them, but Lisa Flynn did just that.
Well, I must say there aren't many of them. We found 1 or 2. Believe it or not, some people would rather have done other things, and we found 1 or 2 of them.
All of Western New York was glued to the television set tonight to watch the Bills in their very first Super Bowl. Hardcore Bills fans have been waiting for this night for a long, long time. So it's no surprise that Western New York streets resembled a ghost town tonight. Well, I hate to break the bad news, but there are some who haven't been swept up in all the excitement.
So what do you do if you don't particularly care about watching the Super Bowl? Well, you can always read a book, go shopping, or even rent a video. At least if you do, you won't have any trouble finding the movie you want.
When's the last time you saw a video store that looked like this? We found a few people renting movies tonight, very few.
Well, I'm not really a football fan. So while we watch the Super Bowl, my daughter and her 2 cousins can watch the movies in the bedroom without disturbing us.
There's one thing to be said for the Super Bowl. Grocery shoppers didn't have to wait in long lines at the supermarket tonight.
We don't like football. We left our husbands at home watching the football game when we came here shopping.
Some escaped all the Super Bowl hype by taking in a movie.
The 2 little ones aren't really that interested in football, and we're taping it at home, too.
Well, I know the Bills going to win, that's all.
Call it un-American if you wish, but some Western New Yorkers preferred not to watch these boys in red, white, and blue.
But the people here all watched the game. They were heartbroken, but they are happy. And Fred, 1 for the road. We're going to start a chant of Let's Go Bills.
Let's go Bills! Let's go Bills!
Back to you guys.
Yes, let's go Fred and Lisa.
Okay. Looking at next year already. Thank you.
I don't know, but I would not be surprised when the final figures are in that this Super Bowl game was the highest-rated television program in the history of the Niagara Frontier.
I would imagine it would be. And Herb, the nation watched a great game. I mean, how many Super Bowls have been such a wonderful, close game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, there were not many people who did watch, but when it comes to reasons for not watching the football game, one would be hard-pressed to find a better one than this, having a baby. At just about the time the Giants' Matt Barr was putting his right foot into the opening kickoff in Tampa, Caitlin Elizabeth Tobin was putting both of her tiny feet into the world at Mercy Hospital. Born at 6:38 tonight to proud parents Rachel Tobin and Bill Finnegan, Caitlin weighed in at 8 pounds, 14 ounces. Mom and baby are doing just fine, and so is Dad.
I was happy that wasn't me in this story you were reading
No, but
about.
it soon will be.
Okay, thank you. Well, we have more on Nightcast, including a Sabres matinee at the Odd.
But first, we'll have the latest on the Gulf War. The Allies try to put a stop to environmental terrorism.
Like fine music, the pleasure never ends, but the sale will. Hurry to Amherst Wall Furniture. Elegant furniture, fabulous savings.
Buffalo, time is running out on the biggest sales event of the year going on right now at Dinets and More. Save 50 to 75% off on all discontinued styles, floor samples, and overstocked merchandise. Our January clearance sale is ending. Further markdowns have been made on already drastically reduced items. If you plan to buy kitchen, dinette, or dining room furniture this year, don't miss this sale. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday only at Dinets and More, Seneca Square, West Seneca, and Transit Road, Williamsville.
This could say, honey, I went out for a burger. I'll be back in a minute. Who knows? This could be some sort, I don't know what it is, truthfully. This I know. They're on appliances. They tell you all about therms, BTUs, operating costs, efficiency ratings, and I'm the guy to ask for the most energy-efficient gas appliances.
There's a gas appliance dealer behind every gas appliance we sell.
Standing behind here, you learn this stuff.
For 4 days in January, Highland has one goal, movement of inventory. Highland's pre-inventory clearance is set for January 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. Thursday the 31st, Highland will be closed to count everything not sold. Because Highland finds themselves with massive quantities of goods, these are not sale prices, they are clearance prices. For instance, get this RCA 25-inch tabletop TV with on-screen display for just $347. Highland's pre-inventory clearance is now through Wednesday, closed Thursday. We'd rather sell it than count it.
While Super Bowl 25 captured the attention of most Americans for a few hours tonight, the game is now over. But America is still at war.
The most significant Allied air action today has been a bombing strike designed to turn off the oil that Saddam Hussein sent gushing into the Persian Gulf days ago. The oil slick is now some 35 miles long, but Allied commanders say the bombing strike appears to have shut off the tap. These pictures were taken of a burning Kuwaiti oil platform yesterday. General Norman Schwarzkopf says things looked a lot different.
This is early today. You will see that you have an entirely different color smoke coming out of here. We see the size of the flame area is much, much smaller than the one you saw just a few minutes ago.
Last night's strike sent laser-guided missiles against the source of that oil, an oil pipeline complex in Kuwait. They say they'll know for sure in a few days if the strategy worked. Irv?
The events of the past few days have not changed any minds at the Pentagon as far as a ground war is concerned. Defense Secretary Dick Cheney told reporters in Washington that air attacks alone will not drive Iraqi troops out of Kuwait.
But all of the planning we've done, certainly since November, when the President made the decision to send additional ground forces, has been based on the assumption that we might eventually have to send in ground forces to complete the campaign.
Cheney says the United States will not launch a ground strike until it has given its air attack every chance to succeed. Kathleen?
Tonight's Super Bowl game did bring a touch of home to American servicemen and women in the Persian Gulf. It was late, it was cold, but to the men and women of Camp Jack, an asphalt stretch on the edge of a Saudi Arabian airbase, it didn't matter. Because of the time difference, the game didn't start till after 2 in the morning, Saudi time. But the soldiers say being able to bring a slice of American tradition to a war zone more than makes up for a loss of sleep.
Well, as everybody knows, Kathleen, the Super Bowl may not have been the biggest game this weekend, certainly not in terms of dollars. Now, $90 million was on the line last night in New York State Super Lotto drawing. 9 tickets were sold, had all 6 winning numbers. Unfortunately, none from the Western New York area. Now, a lot of tickets weren't a perfect match, but were still winners. So here are the numbers again. 5, 15, 30, 35, 46, 50, with a supplemental number of 7. Check your tickets closely.
Yes, I did.
And you still didn't win.
I still didn't win, no. Well, time now to check tonight's winning lottery numbers. First, in the Pick 10 game, 9, 12, 16, 22, 24, 28, 29, 32, 37, 39, 50, 53, 57, 61, 63, 69, 70, 75, 76, 78. The daily numbers 0, 9, 1, and win 4, 6, 7, 1, 2. More from Tampa still to come in sports.
But first, we're going to check in with meteorologist Dr. Bill Rogers. He's going to tell us what the weather's going to be for the big rally tomorrow.
Sleep Shop has put it in writing. No question. You will save money on famous brand mattresses like Sealy, Simmons, Serta, Spring Air, and Masonic. I guarantee it.
If you see news in the making, call Eyewitness News from your cellular telephone. Dial star 7 TV. This is a free service from Cellular One Buffalo Telephone.
These fine gentlemen are here to prove just how effective Delta Sonic's new touchless option really is.
Sir, I really don't recommend you take your motorcycle through the car wash. No problem.
With Delta Sonic's touchless option, no spinning brushes will touch your car. Yet your car will come out cleaner than ever.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Delta Sonic's new touchless option. You'll be amazed at the difference.
This is Royalite. 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 Yes, there are 2 Royalites, each conveniently located, each giving you the best lighting at the best savings anywhere. And remember, at both Royalite locations, when we say you'll save, we mean it.
Tomorrow will be a day off for students and faculty at Buffalo State College. A main water line break next to the college's communications center tonight has shut down the campus tomorrow. All day and evening classes, along with the College Learning Lab, will be closed. The only employees being asked to report to work tomorrow are electricians, plumbers, heating, and police personnel.
But right now, we're going to ask Dr. Bill Rogers to report for work. Billy?
Well, looks like we're going to have a little more snow around the area tonight. Winds are going to be quite gusty, but come tomorrow afternoon, things are going to be fairly warm around the area. Downtown, we do have cloudy skies, some light snow flurry activity, temperature of 30 degrees, dew point of 29, gives us a relative humidity of 96%. The barometric pressure right now is falling. In advance of a frontal system, winds are from the south, very strong, and we've picked up as much as a half a foot of snow to the south of town, about an inch or so to the north. Our high today was 34 degrees after a low this morning of 19. Records for the state include 70 degrees back in 1950 and 3 degrees below zero back in 1927. Last year at this time, we outdid ourselves with a high of 51 degrees. Let's take a look at our current satellite view. We can see quite a few clouds across the area, those extending back to the western Great Lakes. Snow showers underneath those clouds, and we can expect some gusty winds along with that tonight. Then things are going to be clearing up just a little bit tomorrow afternoon. We can expect some warmer temperatures and maybe even a few scattered rain showers to the south. Temperatures are going to get up above the freezing mark.
Right now, we can find a frontal system back to the northwest. It's not going to move a whole lot tomorrow, but it will eventually work its way through our direction. We'll find some gusty winds in advance of this system tomorrow, and we will have a southwesterly flow, so our temperatures are going to climb up into the middle and upper 30s across the region. We will start out with some snow flurries early in the morning. As for the Middle East tomorrow, high pressure is going to be in control of their weather, bringing mostly sunny skies. Looks like a few scattered showers up across the eastern Mediterranean, and temperatures ranging from 40 degrees up at Tehran to the 70s in the southwest. Downtown, we have cloudy skies, and throughout the viewing region, it's quite cloudy. Snow showers quite heavy to the south. We can see a few more inches tonight. Readings generally in the upper 20s and lower 30s at this hour. Forecast for tonight, it's not going to be as cold as it has been the past couple of evenings. Cloudy with light snow, low of around 26, but some very gusty winds will produce near zero visibilities at times with blowing snow. Tomorrow, look for snow flurries around the area, high of 37 degrees late in the afternoon. And tomorrow night, we can expect partly cloudy skies, flurries, light winds, a low of around 20 degrees. On our extended forecast, we'll recap tomorrow. Again, some flurries in the morning, but a high of 37 in the afternoon. Partly cloudy on Tuesday, a high of 33. Much the same on Wednesday. Flurries changing to snow, and then Friday, partly sunny skies, a high of 32. Weather words tonight, well, it's going to be a mild Monday, but quite windy throughout the day. Irv and Kathleen?
Okay, thanks, Dr. Bill.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bill.
Well, we will have a musical look back at Super Sunday still to come.
And it's back down south for more coverage from the cruise in Tampa. Eyewitness Sports is next with Jerry Azar.
Unless you shop Tops Friendly Markets this week, you'll most likely pay too much for your groceries. When you take advantage of Tops weekly specials and everyday value prices, you'll really save. Shop Tops and compare.
Tops never stops, saving you more. Tops never stops.
I'm Brian Kale for Dr. Searles, administrator of the Erie County Union Foot Care Program, serving AFL-CIO union families and retirees for 25 years, with offices located in Amherst, North Buffalo, Cheektowaga, West Seneca, and Hamburg. You've probably just received this pamphlet in your mail. If not, AFL-CIO participating members should bring this to the attention of a union officer so that this valuable information can be distributed to your total membership. See our ad in today's news, sports section, and the Metro Community News.
Hi, everybody.
Join us for our next Good Morning Western New York. We'll bring you the latest in the Persian Gulf War.
And we welcome home the Buffalo Bills. Peter.
Absolutely. Now here's Jerry Azar and Eyewitness Sports. Jerry?
Well, it'll be talked about and talked about for weeks to come. The deadly digits from Super Bowl 25. The Giants beat the Bills.